Hey guys, it's Thoroughbred Studios. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to take better horse photography or how to take better photos, plus tips. So let's just get started. So for tip number 1, I do have a basic tip. It's I prefer using a really good camera. This is just a Canon camera. It's an older camera. It's definitely not one of the new updated versions, but it still works really well. But if you guys use a phone or a tablet, that's completely fine. But if you're getting better at photography, I would recommend start thinking about getting a real good camera. Thoroughbreds, tip number 2, I would recommend having a selection of model horses for your photography video, because I used to always take photography with one horse. Those videos aren't on YouTube. But yeah, so I would always take pictures of, like, let's say a Schleich horse. I'd always take pictures of the same one over and over again and stuff like that, and it kind of just got boring. And then I just started bringing out most of my other models, and then my videos started to get a lot better and stuff like that. Yeah. Then a car likes to drive by. We love cars. So Thoroughbreds tip number 3, I would recommend having your model horse in shorter grass, because when you put your horse in like long grass, it doesn't look as realistic. Like, I'll give you an example right here. And so as you saw there, it didn't look as realistic when it was in the long grass. It looked a little bit better when it was in shorter grass, and yeah. And I know some horses, yes, they can gallop in like long grass, but just if you're doing a long grass photo, I wouldn't recommend putting them in extra long grass. And so Thoroughbreds tip number 4, I would recommend exploring with areas to take photography. Like, if we go on a walk, I always like to bring some Breyer horses. Like, I'll bring her, for instance, her and her, or him, her, whatever. I'll bring whatever Breyers I want, at least 3. And then I can get many different photos of many different backgrounds and stuff, instead of just having the same old boring thing over and over again. And yeah. Thoroughbreds tip number 5, I would recommend exploring with vegetation. So, like, there's really pretty weeds growing in our driveway, and they're like yellow and white, and they're like two super tiny flowers, and they're super pretty. So I'm going to show you guys an example of that. Okay. So Thoroughbreds tip number 6 would be splash photography. So for splash photography, if you're doing it in your backyard, like which I am right now, I'm just using the hose to fill up, put in some water on the ground. And so to help you get the Breyer photos nice, you would usually put a lid on the bottom, but she has a big stand, so I'm not going to do that. You want to take a container. You don't want too much water in it, just a little bit, like that, pretty much that. And when the timer is going off on the camera, you're going to splash it at the horse. So I'll give you guys an example in a second. And so, especially for Breyer horse splash photography, you always want to have your camera on sports mode, which is usually just this running person right here. And always make sure to have it on, you can't see anything on here, but continuous shot, self-timer, and continuous shot. And I like to have mine set to 5 photos, and then I look through the little camera and we're ready to go. And then tip number 7 with tip number 6 is I would always recommend covering up the stand, because otherwise when you look in the photo, you'll be able to see the stand and it doesn't look so realistic. So I just like to cover it up a little bit with the grass, and I mean, you probably won't be able to see it with the photo, but yeah, that's always a good tip to have. Alright. And she's going. And so now you're going to take the water and you're going to just splash it at the stand. Oh, crud. And one of them should turn out. And so I do want to say that splash photography does not always take one try. Splash photography is really hard, and I'm still just a beginner and learning. So yeah, it's not going to be one try and you'll just get it perfect. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the video here now. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!